Hi guys, Daniel here, just doing an update submission video for the budget of Sigmar. My pledge for December was to do an unclean one and 4 of the plague toads of Nurgle, doing 2 units to try and catch up a bit. So first up I'll show my plague toads. The idea with these, if you haven't seen my first video, was to do them in the sort of the pattern of the dart frogs that you get from the Amazon, which are all colourful to ward off the predators. And I was nervous about how this would work out in the beginning, although I thought it was a good idea, and I'm really happy with how they came out. I managed to get the colours quite bright and vibrant, and I managed to get enough variation in there that when you look at them as a unit, the colours sort of balance against each other, and then you can look at them individually and they look good on their own as well. So I'm really happy with how they came out. As I just mentioned, the biggest concern was balancing the colours across the unit, and I think I managed to do that pretty well. The next one is the unclean one. Now, he looks alright. I'm not completely happy with him. I thought that this would be quite an easy model to paint. I thought it would suit my painting style pretty well, but I've found that it's been hard to get some interest in particularly the front. I'm not sure whether this is just because the model itself is poorly balanced in terms of its sculpt, or that I'm just not a great painter. It's probably both. The back turned out really well, and yeah, I just mentioned that I'm not so happy with how the front looks, and I think that's partially because there's a lot more going on the back of the model. I could pick out the details of the veins and maggots that were poking out, and pick out the spinal column that's protruding out, but on the front there wasn't a lot to work with. I tried to add some colour by doing the gradient to the blue on his hands, and I did try to do this on his belly as well, but it looked a bit weird. It took a lot of the focus away from the other parts of the model and just sort of focused your eyes on right at the bottom, so I took that back to the green. So yeah, overall it's alright. I've got it done for my pledge. I'm thinking that he might not see the table if I get a different model to use for the big monster hero choice. I do like balancing my armies similar to the way that the old army selection criteria had it, so having 1 or 2 big characters, a few infantry or medium-sized blocks, and then a couple of monsters, just because I think it's fun to play with and it's good balance. So yeah, so I might end up swapping him out for something else. I do have a Chaos Dragon that I will convert to have a Lord riding on him, which I will be doing as part of the budget of Sigmar, or I may also buy one of the Glotkin to convert into an unclean one. That's a pretty awesome model, and I use it as an unclean one because I don't typically like playing with special characters. And so yeah, so that's the pledge for December done, and I'll just move on to what I'm planning to do for January. So again, in my first video, I talked about the color scheme for the Chaos Warriors, and I did a bit of a test model that I wasn't quite happy with, but now I've been able to pare it back a bit and come up with a scheme that I'm pretty happy with, that blends in the purple and the turquoise color, but still being dominated by green. And I've made it fairly bright as well, just to again have some interest in it, rather than just having it a dark and dirty typical Nurgle. So this is the color scheme that I'll be going with, and as part of, again, I did the unclean one and the plague toads in 1 month to try and catch up, and so my January pledge will be to finish a box of Chaos Warriors first up, and then if I have time, do a second unit, which will be a unit of 5 Chaos Knights to catch up. And if I manage to do that, then I'll be right back on target with everyone else who's been doing the budget of Sigmar. And then after that I'll have my Lord on Dragon to do, and then one extra unit to get. So I'll leave it there. Any comments are welcome, guys, and I'll be posting again soon. Cheers.